Hey everyone, I'm Zach, and welcome back to my channel. So today, my channel officially hits a massive milestone, that being its 10-year anniversary. 10 years, a full decade that I have been operating my YouTube channel and pushing out content for y'all. It's truly been an honor, and just genuinely an amazing 10 years of making content for y'all and letting y'all laugh or be happy or be sad or even cringe some. It's been truly an amazing 10 years that I have thoroughly enjoyed. It has been absolutely very fun and so amazing getting to, you know, make content for y'all and interact with y'all in the comments or even interact with y'all on like Discord or in the older days Google Plus. It was always been a great experience getting to meet y'all, getting to talk with you all. It was awesome. And the content creation itself has been so much fun. Since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. So many YouTubers back in the day that I looked up to that I wanted to be so badly. People like Stampy, DanTDM, PewDiePie, Skydoes Minecraft, the Yogscast. So many different YouTubers that I grew up watching that I wanted to be. And I just wanted to thank you all so much for letting me be able to basically live out my dream. Even if, I never got to be as big as some of those faces that I listed. And to be honest, I'm glad. I'm glad I never became really big or, made like a whole career out of YouTube because YouTube's always been more of a hobby. It's never been a job. I've never made money from YouTube. It's always just been something I do for fun and for personal pleasure. And I've really enjoyed it. I feel like if I was getting paid to do YouTube, I wouldn't have really, I would have been making content that maybe I wasn't really having fun with, or wasn't really, just stuff that I didn't really care about, but doing in order to make a paycheck. So, not getting paid and just doing this for fun has allowed me to make content that I truly wanted to make and basically be my authentic self. And so, I've also really wanted to thank you all, the viewers and the subscribers. Y'all have been phenomenal. Y'all have been truly some fantastic people. Many of you I still talk to today. I know Joel493 is definitely watching this. Shout out to you, longtime viewer. My buddy Alex, who was a in real life friend of mine, who we met through Swim. We've been friends for 10 years now. He's been around since day one. There's also Gamer Airy, who's been around since 2017-ish. Shout out to you, and really shout out to all my subscribers, every one of y'all. Y'all have been truly a fantastic bunch, and I have thoroughly loved spending the last 10 years making content for you all. With that said, though, for this 10-year anniversary, I wanted to make a very important announcement that I know not many of y'all probably wanted to hear, but I believe it is the best choice moving forward. That is that I have decided to retire from YouTube. YouTube has been an enjoyable and very fun experience over these last 10 years of making content. It has been very fun. I've had a blast, and I've it's thoroughly been it was a great experience for me to have throughout, my teenage years. But things are a lot different nowadays than compared to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, when I started this channel started on June 20th, 2016. That was the day before my 12th birthday. I was a rising 7th grader, and I didn't have any worry in the world. Like, I was just enjoying summer break. I was still a kid. I just started puberty. I didn't really have any worry in the world. But things have changed drastically over the last decade. Today, I turn 22 tomorrow, and I'm also a full grown adult with adult responsibilities. I live on my own, I pay my bills, I do things. I'm just so much different than I was 10 years ago. And as a result, making content isn't as easy as it was back then. Back then, all I needed was my four trusty blocks, my iPod Touch, and my DS, and I was set. That's all I had to do. Nowadays, I have to figure time out, I have to figure out the setup, because I have way higher standards for quality, and it's just, combined with everything else going on, it's just not something I could really keep doing. And so, with that said, I feel that retirement is the best solution. And I think it's going to be fine. I think the last 10 years of YouTube have been fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think for now, for the rest of my life, I think I want to do something different. I think now that I'm an adult with adult responsibilities, I think now is a good time to move on from this period of my life. It's been a phenomenal period that I am, like, throughout the rest of my life I am going to be looking back on and thoroughly enjoying the content creation. But I think now it's I think time to move on to a different period of my life. And so, with that said, won't be releasing really any videos in the future. The only videos I might release, I might still upload some videos in the future, but those would be only like if I'm doing like a geography speedrun and get a world record or something, I would upload that. Or if I'm doing like an economic presentation or something more professional, that would be when I upload something. Other than that, I'm not going to be doing any more story times, more uh game walkthroughs, no streaming, none of that anymore. That I'm officially done with. And so, with that said, how did we get here? Like, 10 years is a long time to be doing YouTube. How did we get from 12-year-old me playing basically a Teletubby fighter simulator to now a 22-year-old me who barely plays video games at all? Well, to start, as mentioned, we wanted to be a YouTuber so badly growing up. My parents, though, would not let me create a YouTube account. They've always been kind of strict on, like, internet usage as a kid, and they were always, very much big on privacy, which I definitely appreciate and I think was very much appropriate. However, they decided to finally let me start a YouTube channel for my 12th birthday. They felt that at that age, I was finally ready to, be online and make content and interact with the world. And so that's what I got to do in 2016 after years of wanting to release YouTube videos and stuff. I, of course, originally went by the name Reggie248. Now, why Reggie248? I mean, my real name's Zach. So, the Reggie part actually comes from my first time playing Dimpamin in 2012 when I used to play. So, when I first got my 3DS when I was 8 years old, I used to play demos all the time. Like, I would download every demo off the Nintendo eShop, and Dimpamin 1, which had just released, happened to have a demo that I downloaded, and I played it a lot until I had ran out of, times that I could play it. Eventually, I did actually get to buy the game that Christmas, and the hero Dimpamin for my first ever playthrough was none other than Reggie. And the name stuck with me, and it was always kind of funny, like, joking around, like, oh, what's Reggie gonna do this time? Oh, little old Reggie's gonna, just got a critical hit, or oh, Reggie's gonna revive another Dimpaman. And so that kind of what kind of started. I was like, yeah, maybe this should be my my Elias online, because before I didn't really have an Elias. I just went by like Zack or Zack Attack or just basic stuff with my real name, because I was, and the only online stuff I did was like Mario Kart on Wii Online and stuff. And so I figured, yeah, I'll just go by Reggie. And then the 248 actually came from a that actually came from an old Minecraft Pocket Edition world. So I, as someone who grew up in the 2000s and 2010s, Minecraft was a big part of my childhood. And an especially big part was Minecraft Pocket Edition, which was the old Minecraft version that you would download on a mobile device. And I used to have a tablet, like a Samsung tablet, that I played a lot of Minecraft on. I would play, me and my sister would play, we would take turns. When I eventually got my own tablet, we would like play together, and we played a lot of Minecraft. And one of the things that I ended up, it was like a creative world that I made in Pocket Edition. I think it was, and I named it something really random. It was like 2 a.m. too. Like I'd stayed up really late one night building a whole bunch of like crazy stuff that, like 8-year-olds like to build in Pocket Edition. I think it was like I think like 333 Reggie 248, and the 248 part stuck with me, and I was like, yeah, I'll add the numbers to that. So now my name was Reggie 248, and that was the name that I initially started going by on YouTube. And I think that's what most of y'all probably remember me as, to be honest. I mean, I think a lot of y'all, especially if y'all were around during my first 4 years of this channel, probably still think of me as Reggie248 instead of Zach or Zach the Mudkip or anything like that. So that's kind of what kind of inspired the name Reggie248. And initially, I was actually gonna play Minecraft. That was what I was initially gonna do for my YouTube. So back in the day when I played Pocket Edition, I would sometimes try to pretend like I'm making a, like I would actually record videos with my with, I think it was like my mom's phone, or no, it was my 3DS. I would try to record videos with my 3DS, play and show me like playing on a on the tablet, playing Minecraft Pocket Edition. I would always start the videos like Stampy, like, how like in Stampy's Lovely World, he would start out by saying, "Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to Stampy's Lovely World." Yeah, I would start that out by saying, "Hello, this is Zach Baynard, and welcome to Zach's Lovely World." I used to do that all the time when I was like little. And so I really wanted to start playing Minecraft on YouTube. And I actually did make a video. Like, my first video was actually made for Minecraft, and I made it on June 20th, 2016. Except it was weird. So the problem is I was playing on the PS3 version this time. I wasn't playing Pocket Edition. I was playing the PS3. So nowadays this would be considered legacy console, because this was way before the Java versus Bedrock was a thing. And so my sister actually was held up the my iPod, because I back in the day I recorded videos with my iPod Touch, and I didn't know how to like set up a camera or anything to point at the TV, so she had to do it. And that video was, I don't have much memories of it. It never uploaded to YouTube because the upload failed, and I'm glad it did. But I remember that video was pretty bad. My sister called me Zach instead of Reggie multiple times, and obviously, forcing her to hold the freaking camera or the freaking iPod wasn't really fair for her, because I'm sure that probably hurt her arms a lot. And so, seeing how that went, I realized that making Minecraft videos would be way too difficult. However, there was one game in mind that I knew would actually work perfectly because all I had were some blocks that I had gotten for my 6th birthday and my iPod. I knew there was one game that I could play on my 3DS that would work perfectly. That was Dimpamin. So Dimpamin, if you don't already know, is an RPG 3DS game where these creatures known as Dimpamin basically have these antennas that give them certain powers. So the hero of the Dimpamin series, who's like the main character, he's always gonna have a revive antenna, meaning if a Dimpamin is killed, he can revive the Dimpamin. There's also like Dimpamin who can do like powerful attacks with their antennas. They got antennas that can strengthen other Dimpamin, heal other Dimpamin. Some Dimpamin don't have antennas but have really good stats. It's a very fun game, and it's still the Dimpamin trilogy. Honestly, will probably be a series I'll always look fondly over. I absolutely love the silliness of the series, the weirdness, but especially the music. The music in Dimpamin is so good, and I still often listen to it a lot, especially Dimpamin 2's OST. Dimpamin 2 is by far my favorite of the Dimpamin trilogy, and the music is one of the main reasons why. I love Dimpamin 2's music. It's so good. And honestly, I think with the exception of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, which are my two all-time favorite games, Dimpamin 2 would probably be my favorite OST of all time. Thoroughly love the music. Uh, the story of Dimpamin 2 is really good as well. The whole series has really good story, and it's a very fun series. That unfortunately, there's the new Dimpamin free available on Switch, but like the actual trilogy on the 3DS isn't no longer accessible because the eShop was down, and now the um internet's no longer supported for 3DS and Wii U. So no way of really playing Dimpamin authentically now. But I that's what I played throughout my early days. And when it came to Dimpamin, I mainly did two types of Dimpamin videos. There were playthroughs and Colosseums. So the playthroughs were more so were just me playing through the regular story. That's what I've always loved most about Dimpamin is just the story and getting to explore the worlds, getting to fight all the monsters, obtain new Dimpamin, attain new items, defeat the King of Evil. Like I really enjoyed that a lot. And my hero through this series was not Reggie. It was Frederick, and Frederick ended up becoming a staple throughout pretty much throughout my entire YouTube career, basically that I did Dimpamin. And then the other content that most of y'all are probably most familiar with is going to be Colosseum. So Colosseum is in Dimpamin 2 and 3, and it basically allows you through the internet to battle other teams' Dimpamin teams. And I got really good at Colosseum and eventually was able to become a ranked S team, which are the best players in the world. And I made a whole Coliseum series in the summer of 2017 where I would battle other people's Dimpamin teams, and a lot of y'all really like that because, well, I mean, I often battle y'all's teams, and that's what actually I feel like brought me a lot of popularity in the Dimpamin community was through that Coliseum series and uploading those videos. I feel like that's what really I feel like kind of made me stand out because nobody I mean, plenty of people prior had made, Dimpamin Coliseum videos. I know, like, G-Wizard, Nitrous, and a few other players had made, like, Dimpamin Coliseum videos, but no one really had, like, a whole series of them playing Coliseum like I did. So, I kind of pioneered that, which was really cool. Um, as for afterwards, in 2017, I also, for my 13th birthday, I also got a video camera and along with a tripod that I was able to set up and start recording Minecraft videos. So The year prior, forcing my sister to hold the iPod, no longer had to worry about that because now I had a video camera with a tripod that I would just point at the TV and do Minecraft videos with. And I also would do like a lot of reaction videos too. During this time, my favorite YouTuber during this time was a YouTuber known as Trendcrave. I still look back on Trendcrave's videos a lot. I miss Trendcrave so much. For those who don't know, Trendcrave is actually Nolan on Mr. Beast. That was what he was doing before he joined Mr. Beast. But yeah, he was really funny. I loved his videos. I loved the style of his videos. And so I'd often make like kind of videos similar to it, but not like, the editing and like the crazy stuff. It was mostly more personal and more Dimperman related, but I still would do that a lot back in mainly 2017, especially when I broke my 3DS that October. That was when I basically had to make like kind of those commentary reaction type videos. Later on, in 2018, I got really into Pokemon that year, and I replayed a lot of Pokemon games that I played a lot back when I was really little. And I would make videos where I would play like beat the champion or beat another like really hard boss. Honestly, those videos sucked. They were so bad and so cringy. I don't like those videos at all. Do not miss those videos at all. And then I would also, but at least the showdown videos were really fun. So I would also do a lot of live streaming with my friends Ryan and Robbie, who I was really good friends with back in 7th and 8th grade. We used to do Pokemon Showdown streams where I would live stream us simply playing Pokemon Showdown. We'd sometimes play each other, play strangers. Those are always really fun videos, and streaming with them was always a blast. Um, and then there's of course story time. So story time, I introduced the series like the very end of 2020 and started in 2021. That was basically, I had gotten to the point where I wanted to kind of write and make more content based on, more about myself and letting y'all learn kind of about my life and kind of, who I am, where I come from, some experiences. That's what I wanted to do. And so doing that story time was really fun, and that was a huge game changer for really my YouTube channel as a whole, because I kind of went away from the whole kind of went away from like mainly being focused on video games and commentary to being more scripted videos. And I think doing story time was a fantastic decision. Just absolutely like helped me immensely improve my writing style. Like I became so much better writer from story time. And I also got better at like reading a script and like reading too, because I had to read aloud the scripts to record the videos. And I got really good at that, and I thoroughly and it also helped me, resolve some issues that I had always been covering up, like church as an example. It started in 2018 with Fuge and being bullied and left out in youth, and I had never had an outlet to really express myself and talk specifically about what happened. And so Storytime gave me that platform to be able to talk about and be able to write about it and get it off my mind, which I really really loved. And it definitely helped a lot with kind of managing some of the emotions I was trying to hide down, as well as also help me comprehend what went on and be able to eventually make future decisions based on what happened and be able to reflect on it more. So story time was huge for me, and I did it all throughout 2021. And in the years afterwards was kind of inactive, kind of active. Because story times took a lot of effort, because those scripts would be really long, and I would have to it would sometimes take months to write storytime scripts, especially the ERS series. Those, like, I remember like the longest of those was I think the was the ninth grade school year one. That was over 70,000 words long. It was a long story time. That took 2 months to write. So yeah, it definitely helped me with like writing long papers, and honestly, that's really useful, especially coming up with grad school and stuff. And then, of course, can't forget about Geometry Dash. Being able to upload like my demon completions in Geometry Dash is always fun. I don't play Geometry Dash anymore. I'm retired. I don't really play much video games at all anymore. But being able to upload my demon completions, is even reactions when I beat like really hard levels like Fairy Dust and Sedulous was also really fun, and getting to keep those crazy reactions in memory was so much fun. Alright, with that said, that's kind of the history of my channel. Now I want to talk about, some current things going on. So I've talked about the past, let's talk about the present. So first things first is that I moved again last December. I think it was last May, I made the community announcement that I was moving out of my Uptown Charlotte apartment. And I did move. I moved to a apartment in South Charlotte, and it was bad. I apparently what property management did not tell me was that they had a roach issue, and I ended up having to basically be roommates with roaches, and it was awful. I hated it over there. I didn't feel safe, and it was bad. So I decided to end my lease early and move to a much newer apartment that's a couple blocks away from that old one. And this one's way better. It's a lot more expensive, but it's way cooler. I get a really nice view of nature. I'm still just I really like it. I really like this place. This is probably where I'm going to be staying for the next few years, honestly. I really like it here. The other thing too is that in 2 months I'm starting grad school, so I'm starting my master's in economics in August. I'm doing a concentration in real estate and urban economics, as well as another one in quantitative methods for econ in case that doesn't work out. My goal is to go into like urban planning, urban design, so like planning out cities and stuff. Because I've grown up in the Charlotte area all my life, and now I live in Charlotte, and you'll find that Charlotte is probably the one of the worst designed cities in the world. It is absolutely terribly designed, entirely car centric, and it's not a very well designed city at all. And so one of my goals of urban planning is mainly to be able to design better cities that are designed more for people and not for cars, which I'm really excited about. I really loved economics in undergrad. I loved it way more than my major, which was accounting. I really like I really like the math in econ, and so I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to start grad school. This fall I'm only taking one class. I'm taking a graduate econometrics. I've struggled a lot in undergrad econometrics in undergrad when I minored in econ, but I do feel a lot more confident about graduate econometrics because I do understand a lot from undergrad now, and I've been practicing a lot. Like I recently purchased Stata, which is like a statistical data analysis package that a lot of researchers use, and I've gotten really good at it, and I'm excited to apply it and go in there and show them what I could do. And so, that said, that's basically where I'm at now. Not really a whole lot's going on. It's just that stuff, basically. With that said, I think now is a good time to end off on three pieces of advice that I want to give. Not really content creation wise, just general life pieces. I've been doing YouTube for 10 years, and that's nearly a half of my life. I mean, I'm almost 22 now, and throughout the years, I've learned a lot. It's not just from YouTube, but just growing up in general. 12-year-old me is significantly more dumber than I am today. Not to say that he was stupid or anything, but I've grown so much and learned so much and felt like I've matured so much that compared to 12-year-old me, I feel like I'm almost a completely different person. And a lot of it is through learning a lot of these lessons. And so there's three lessons in particular that I really want to leave off with my channel. I hope you all take these lessons to heart and be able to apply them to your own personal lives. First lesson that I want y'all to know is work hard, but make sure to rest. Especially in the United States, we're really big on hustle culture, which is this idea that we always need more. More is always good. If something is good, that means more is automatically good. So like whether it be like working, like we think working is good, so we should work like crazy hours because more is good. Or hoarding wealth, like money is good. Money gives us buying power, so we need more. We need more. And that is an extremely harmful philosophy that is completely untrue as well. Because if you're constantly working hard and desperate for more, you're not going to get you're not going to get more. You're going to be left empty and eventually you're going to start getting less and therefore you won't get more. It's great to work hard. Hard work is very good. But if you're not resting hard, then your hard work is going to go to waste. Nobody on their deathbed has ever wished, God, I wish I worked harder. No, absolutely never happened. What people wish on their deathbed are stuff like, God, I wish I spent more time with my family, or God, I wish I traveled more, or God, I wish I took more time off, or I wish that I could go for this hobby or something. Nobody ever wishes that they just increase more shareholder value. Nobody ever wished that they made more money to increase BlackRock's pockets. Nobody's ever said that on their deathbed. And so what I want you all to know is make sure to rest and to take things slowly. Don't work so hard. And so I've especially been a victim of this throughout, especially after graduating college and working for like a Big Four public accounting firm. I mean, I only left after 4 months, but like over there, like I really saw hustle culture and being taught that like you gotta work hard, you gotta work 80 hours a week to deliver to the clients. The clients are counting on you, and I realize that's just such a toxic mindset, and we shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be constantly going for more. If something's enough, it's enough. That's fine. Enough is okay. We don't need more all the time. Another lesson too is to learn from your mistakes. Let your mistakes help you grow. Nobody's perfect. Everybody is going to make mistakes. Not a single human being who's ever lived on this planet has been perfect. There's always been people, everyone's always made a mistake. And I think what's important though is that when we do make mistakes, we understand, okay, why did I make this mistake? And how can I learn from it? I've made plenty of mistakes, probably more than most people throughout my life. And but the thing about those is that after making mistakes and growing, I've learned from them and realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should do this, or maybe I shouldn't think about this way. How about I think about, another way? And I think is one thing that especially really regurgitates this lesson is Geometry Dash, funnily enough. Geometry Dash, if you've played Geometry Dash, in order to literally learn a level, you have to make mistakes. Nobody's going to beat an extreme demon in one attempt. That doesn't happen. In order to be able to beat a level, you have to die at places and know, okay, I need to jump here, or I need to hold here, or I need to time my jump this way. You get better at Geometry Dash and playing levels through making mistakes. And so I think that's really just comes to show just how important making mistakes are, and how not just making mistakes but learning from them and being able to say, okay, I can think about it this way. Because if you don't ever make mistakes, if you're always perfect, you're never going to grow. Like, perfect people don't grow. They don't really grow. They also can't really advise. They can't really guide people. And that's especially something that I really discovered when I tutored back in college. So, if you recall, if from some of my later college story times, I used to tutor when I was an undergrad, and one thing I noticed in tutoring was that I always felt like the classes or the particular topics that I did best with in tutoring were topics that I struggled with a lot when I had taken the class. Intermediate Accounting 1 is probably the perfect example. That class was brutal. It was a very difficult class, but I persevered through and made an A in the class. And then tutoring it a year later, I kind of was able to relate a lot to my 2Ds and, seeing them struggle and know and be able to put myself in their shoes and know and remember how I used to struggle in that class and what worked for me. And so being able to do that, really, I felt like helped me be a lot more effective tutor, and was what able I feel like helped my 2Ds out a lot. Third lesson that I want to end off with is that it's okay to not be okay. Especially in this day of age, mental health is, while very much talked about a lot more, there's still kind of some stigma around it. Especially when it comes to men. Especially in our society, we kind of really push for gender roles, and we want men to be masculine and tough. And I want to go on here and tell you, no, men do not need to be masculine, they do not need to be tough, and they sure in hell do not need to hide their emotions. That is one of the most damaging things our society does. Telling people, especially men, that they need to toughen it up and man up is just one of the most harmful, destructive things our society does. And I want to make it clear, if you're struggling, it is okay to be struggling. Throughout my life, especially when it comes to like mental health issues and stuff, I've always never felt comfortable being okay. I've always felt that, like, if, I tell someone that, I'm not doing okay, I'm struggling, I've always felt that I'm going to get, I'm gonna get scolded and yelled at. I'm gonna be told, you just need to man up, you need to toughen up, or you're just being a little baby. Like, that it's such a harmful stigma, and I want to help make it clear. It's okay to not be okay. And I think that we as a society need to do way better with that. We need to stop worshiping gender roles from 1356 and start treating mental health a lot more seriously, like it's 2026. We don't live in an age where, where everyone has to be tough. We're perfectly fine not being like tough. In fact, letting out our emotions and, being okay with not being okay is great, because if we're constantly hiding our emotions and constantly hiding our struggles from the world, what happens is that we end up lashing out, and we end up doing stuff and saying stuff that we absolutely would not say otherwise. Like, someone who's, struggled with bullying, like when they were younger, like them not getting help that they really needed, often grow up to say stuff like bring back bullying or bullying builds character. And that's such a harmful mindset that I feel like our society has drilled down on men. That I want to be clear, it's okay to be not be okay, and it's okay for women too. And like, like, I feel like there's also some stigma for women as well. Like, when they say they're depressed or being sad, oftentimes the response is, you don't got nothing to be sad about, or you got no reason to be struggling. And I want to make it well known you do not need a reason to not be okay. You don't have to explain yourself. It is okay, perfectly okay to say, I am not okay and leave it at that. You don't have to defend your. You don't have to defend anything. So, with that said, that's three lessons that I just wanted to leave off with to wrap up my YouTube career. And yeah, it's been a pleasure and just an honor to be able to make these videos and do content creation for y'all for the last 10 years. It has truly been a phenomenal experience that I will always look back on for the rest of my life. With that said, I'm Zach, and I am going to sign off from the very, very bottom of my heart. Thank you all for the past 10 years. Y'all have been an amazing bunch. Thank you all. Goodbye.